seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. way back a year ago. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. They were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were.
Alright, everybody, thank you very much for coming to Buddha of Destiny Namaste channel. I will be reading the Mastering 5 Elements, create better relationships in love, family, business, and discover why people act the way they do. It's by Professor Tanya Storch, Qigong practitioner Jeff Permick, that is my old teacher. Part 1, Behavior and Characteristics of 5 Elements. Character 1, Fire People. About the author, I was born in a country that does not exist anymore, in a city that does not exist anymore, and educated by a system that does not exist anymore. Who am I? I was born in Leningrad in the Soviet Union and educated by the communist regime. I remember my elementary school teachers trying to make me feel proud of my name, Oktrabonak, a child of October. I was forced to believe I was born in the spirit of the Great October Socialist Revolution, and the sole purpose of my existence was to spread this great revolution to the farthest reaches of the earth. I trained to love a little metal star with the face earth. I was, excuse me, with the face of the Grandpa Lenin in the middle. It was pinned to my uniform at all times, and to lose it was the most shameful thing I could do. God saved me from this political social madness by leading me to a master teacher highly trained in Qigong and Daya psychology. Through years of training, I developed my internet psychic abilities and connected with the natural powers of the five elements. I learned how to predict human behavior, save energy from being lost to conflicts, and how to increase the energy in my body using mind body practices. My five elements education began with my early childhood experiences within the Ural Mountains. These mountains serve as a natural geographic divide between the European and Asian parts of Russia. Each summer between the ages 4 and 10, I was taken away from my family in Leningrad and forced to stay for 3 months with my grandmother in a village of the Votyak people. The Votyak were a small ethnic minority settled near the Urals who secretly practiced an ancient religion based on the variation of natural forces. Children in the village barely spoke Russian. They had very little food to eat and almost no clothes to cover their sun baked skinny bodies. They were used to running many miles barefoot on harsh ground each day. They knew how to deal with the animals, both domestic and wild. But for me, this Voltiak world presented many challenges. I needed to know what these children wanted from me, even though they could not really talk to me. I needed to know which animals were really dangerous and which ones were only pretending. The need to survive in this entirely forging universe changed me profoundly. Invisible psychosomatic forces which lay dominant within me while I was a regular city kid suddenly sprung to life. Fire was the first natural element that presented itself to me. One day a village boy said something humiliating uh, said something humiliating about me, making everybody laugh in the blink of an eye. My internal fire swung from 0 to 200 degrees. It leaped out of me as I attacked the boy, screaming like a mad goose, blindly grabbing anything laying on the ground to throw at him. The children ran away and never said anything offensive to me again. Anytime I turned my fire on that summer, the victory was always mine. Until one boy named Volodya helped me discover the second element, which was just as natural to him as it was deadly to me. Volodya was the quietest boy in the village, and even girls were louder and more aggressive than him. He liked to hang out by the river, lake, or swamp and was very observant. He knew all our secrets, including mine. He took me to the pond where women usually booze themselves, washing the family clothes, but on this day it was empty of people. He said to me, "If you are fire, you will drown in this pond." I jumped in as I replied, "No, I will not." What happened there at the bottom of that greenish, grayish, very scary body of water, I will never forget. I did not know how to swim because the mystery of water had not presented itself to me yet. I had to use my internet fire to counteract the dangers of the water. I started to jump. I jumped for my life. Every time my feet touched something hard, I pushed myself against its surface, and as I did, my head moved out of the water for a few seconds as I gulped air and continued jumping until I jumped myself out of the pond. The moment I was out, I gave Volodya the beating of his life. Then we forgave each other and became friends. He was my first water friend who taught me how to swim and love water. I was still in the vast rolling wilderness of the Ural Mountains when I befriended two more elements, metal and tree. Tree. Metal was my second natural element. This is how I knew it after every one of my fights with domestic animals or village kids. I went to my grandmother explaining why I did it. I insisted I was not a bad girl, that I just needed to defend myself and pursue justice. Children did not understand why I had to tell my grandmother all of this. Then I explained to them that I wanted my grandma to think that I was a hero. Later, my Taoist teacher explained to me that people with a strong metal element always want to feel like heroes. Another way in which the power of metal opened itself to me was through money. Money is qualen- quenchlessly a metallic force in human life. And this is why in all countries currency used to be secured by gold reserves. Because my natural metal was so strong, I was able to keep all my allowance and not spend them all on small things. When I developed passion for something, I always had enough money to buy it because as a native metal, I knew how to wait and count until I got exactly what I wanted. The nurturing, loving. Hey everybody, thank you for coming in. SB, Trending Live TV, Ray Patrick, Editing Game Media. Thank you. Many blessings to you too. Give me a hey Irma. What's up? Later, my diarist teacher explained to me that people with a strong metal element always want to feel like a hero. Then we got. I was able to keep all my allowance. Count. Okay, the nurturing, loving power of the tree energy came to me later. It came through the charitable actions and emotions of compassion and sympathy. I felt for those hungry, half naked kids whose education was so poor they they could not write my name or address, making it impossible for them to send me any mail when I was away. This energy surprised me because it felt so different from anything else I felt before as I gave a Wozniak friend my best dress, telling her I didn't need it, insisting she could have it. She just stood there not knowing how to respond. Something moved in me at such a deep level that I can only think about it in terms of internal revolution. Meeting with the earth element happened to me naturally every year in September when my adventurous summer was over and I returned to Leningrad to settle for the winter, full of school life. I did not like that energy but felt too grounded and sleepy to change it. I learned later this is how the earth element holds us together. It provides balance but differently for each person. If we are not spiritually involved, it keeps us in peace with the world through boredom and our slavery to customs and routines. If we are allowing us to see that everything and everyone are equal, beautiful, and necessary for the entire world to exist, much fuller knowledge of the five elements was a result of 10 years of training with a Chinese Taoist teacher who himself was a political refugee from the communist China. He taught me many things, among them a parallel tradition using the earth element Earth traditionally appears only once in a complete cycle of natural forces, transmutation cycle. Yeah, transmutation known as the five elements. Most people today know about this cycle. Water gives power to the tree gives power to the fire gives power to the earth gives power to the metal gives power to the water. After that, the cycle repeats itself again. My teacher, who is still alive, does not want me to say too much about him. This is why this account of him must be conscious and elusive. I can see, I can say that he was trained as a hereditary Taoist master in a family which preserves secrets teachings about Tao, Yin Yang, five elements, Qigong, and herbal remedies for hundreds of generations. During the Chinese Revolution, an oracle advised him to marry a Russian woman and escape so his knowledge could be preserved and spread around. He successfully escaped, avoiding torture, which befell other men in his family. Because of his great talents, he became a language instructor at the Leningrad University. His official obligations involved teaching linguistics and culture, but he was willing to secretly educate those students who were eager to acquire practical knowledge of Chinese traditional philosophy and medicine. One one day, as I came to class late and unprepared, he told me to wait for him after the class. I thought he was going to rebuke me for not being prepared. Instead, he said, "Your natural element of fire is suppressed. This is why you lately feel tired and depressed." I immediately remembered one of my childhood games where I pretended to be Blaze, a fire, capable of burning everything. I asked him if this was what he meant. He said yes. Then I asked him, but how does one act like fire when one is a grown up person? Who does one act like fire when one is a grown up person who must follow rules of the adult society? He explained that running long distance, singing, screaming, reciting poetry, in the shower, dancing naked, rolling in the mud and snow, walking fast in the rain without a hat or umbrella, and so forth. At first, I thought him crazy because it was a long time since I did anything of the sort. But as my depression continued on, I finally tried his advice. First, I went skiing. Continued on, I finally tried his advice. First, I went skiing alone. Then, I tried everything he told me to do. And I could not believe myself transformation. As soon as I rediscovered my native element of fire, I was happy again. My internet innate, my native element of fire. I was happy again, my innate to all the questions in each class I took. I read every chapter and I shone. I was flying like a big bird. I read every chapter each professor assigned, remembering every word. My skin and eyes shone. I was flying like a bird, big bird. The training continued for 10 years and included numerous meditations, Qigong exercises, and demonstrations of the Qi flow through seemingly ordinary events. The most precise gift of my teacher gave me was in the middle of my training. He connected me, a wild, atheistic teenager, to God. He referred to God as the ultimate master of all elements, explaining that without this vital connection, a person who had mastered all the elements may become a monster. I was actually very surprised that he had to bring God into the Taoist training. But as it turned out, my teacher was secretly practicing Christianity, which at that time was far more dangerous than teaching about the chief flow and five elements. I remember clearly one day he asked me, "What is a Russian word for God?" I said, Bog. He said, "Good. Now do you know a Latin name for God?" I said, "Do." He said, "Good. And what is a Chinese name for God?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "It is Dao, Dao." After that, he had me consciously return to all my childhood experiences as well as my most recent chi power practices and ask myself, why did the Creator give me these amazing experiences and abilities? I cannot answer this question at all the time, but I can now. I know the true source, creator of life, gave them to me so I may help other people learn how to respect the natural energies which God created, and by doing so, stay healthy, living longer lives on this beautiful planet. Before I finish, I do wish to share with you some exercises of my teacher gave me because they were so intense and effective in developing what some call human paranormal abilities. In the beginning, I was not able to recognize that I became paranormal. I did realize, though, how distinctive I was from everybody else because all of the sudden, people became afraid of me. One exercise consisted of sitting each day in a dark closet for 5 or 6 hours with eyes closed and crossed under tightly shut eyelids. The goal was to search for the true source of light that must shine brightly from within, from the heart and mind connected to the universal light divine. I greatly enjoyed this exercise and was able to conduct it very successfully. As a result, I felt at home in a dark forest or another place without natural or artificial source of light. Additionally, my vision improved dramatically and I was able to read and watch movies without my glasses. Not only was I able to see through the physical darkness, but I was also able to see through the darkness of peoples that possesses the processes. That is to say, I found myself being able to read people's minds, quickly recognizing their true intentions as well as hear the unspoken words developing in the brain in response to a situation. This was not scary to me, but it was for everyone to know. Even in my present stage of my life, when I am to release some of my magic abilities, I still often scare people. As soon as we begin a conversation, they develop an uncomfortable feeling that I know everything about them, that somehow I am inside their brain, hearing everything they really think about themselves and the world around them. My wonderful Chinese master was not the only God sent teacher who blessed my life with so much knowledge. Other great influences came from the Russian Orthodox priests and the Burantan Buddhist lamas. All forms of the religion were persecuted by Russian communists. This is why Christians and Buddhists supported and encouraged each other during that time. They hoped their united prayers and meditations would help destroy the great evil, the dictatorship of the USSR. I recollect some joint Christian Buddhist meditations with great fondness. One particular form was practiced in front of the TV when the entire Politburo was in session. Participants, myself included, sat in a row and on the floor in front of the TV praying for people shown on the screen, sending them divine light and healing. I remember being overwhelmed with surprise when I realized that as a result of this peaceful and loving meditation, the higher members of the Politburo began leaving the planet one after another. In Hellenistic Buddhism and Orthodox Christianity, the human body is viewed as a temporary temple filled with eternal love and light. Our spirit and consciousness purification of the temporary temple is viewed as a high priority. This is why, urged by my new clergy friends, I tried several rather challenging forms of physical spiritual purification, including going for days without food. I practiced various purifications, such as consuming only a bowl of rice per day for 5 months, walking barefoot in the deep snow, swimming in the middle of winter in the water surrounded by ice, lying dead on the hard floor for 8 to 9 hours, long enough for the soul to completely leave the body and travel to the distant stars and other planets. For me, the ultimate test of the five elements theory lies within the knowledge that under the graceful guidance of our Creator, I endured arrests, interrogations, and other forms of political persecution in my country, and I managed to avoid becoming a disabled or bitter person. This unique ancient knowledge was also instrumental in creating conditions in my life, allowing me to run away from the Soviet Union with my two little children. It helped me keep up my faith and remain hopeful as my family went through several phases of immigration in Australia, Italy, and the United States. Finally, it was the vision that I must share the knowledge of five elements with as many people as possible that led me to build successful careers in several American universities, keeping peace with God, respecting all He created, and wisely using the internet fire as has made my life bloom to the fullest despite my age and injuries. I live without fear or other negative emotions, and I am grateful to the Creator and all life, the abundance of the life force, which Chinese call chi, Japanese call ki, and Christians call spirit, makes all types of miracles possible. Miracles are to be expected on a daily basis because life is a miraculous and mysterious in its very essence and structure. When one understands the five elements, one understands one's own biomagnetic field and its unique vibrations. By taking a good care of one's own nature, one learns how to respect others' lives and hold everything that is life in perfect balance. In this way, our supply of chi and spirit will be abundant under all circumstances, making a long and healthy life reality for all people and life forms on this planet. Forward by Qigong practitioner Jeff Primick. That is my hey Kavion. I'm so good, thank you, love. What's up, Kavion? What's up, you new? What's up, Ruthie? Ruthie, this and that, and family only needs 900. Hey, what's up, love and live? How you doing? I hope everything's doing good. Miss QT, I hope you're doing good. Patty, I hope you're doing good. Abdul, shit, I missed everybody. I'm so sorry. I was reading. Cole, what's up, Cole? Cole Watts, anybody has any upcoming premieres, lives, videos, shorts, go ahead and drop it and I'll pin it. This is basically called Mastering 5 Elements, create better relationships in love, family, business, and discover why people act the way they do. If you read this book, you will honestly discover why people act the way they do. If you go out in nature and you just hug a tree, you set your pride aside and you hug a tree, you will feel more grounded. That's good. Hello, Coco Unusual. Type Buddha to drop your link. Type Buddha to drop your link. I pinned you new short. You new short. Please go over there. Show her some love. Hey, the Butt Files, what's up? You got an upcoming live, upcoming premiere. Please drop it. I know KT has an upcoming premiere, upcoming live. Let me see, it's trending in here. Trending. Let me see. Trending probably doing her thing. Hold up. YouTube. KT. Let me see. KT. Copy on. Oh, look at this. What is this? This say upcoming. Wait. Oh, that's in April. 4/14. I thought it was upcoming today. Rock and roll. Oh no, the KT's upcoming was yesterday. To 2 in the morning, guys. 2 in the morning. I was up to 2 in the morning. Here it is. I hope all of you enjoy it. Here it is. This is KBon Trucker. Please connect to him. He's very supportive. Well, he's extremely supportive. He's Meow Meow Team. Mega Meow Meow. Visit KBon Trucker. We were on that live from 6 hours. Put it like that. Okay, I was on there like two in the morning. All I know is I fell asleep in my chair. My head was hanging like I was. My friend said I was ready to look like I was gonna break my neck. I said you crazy. All right, look forward by Qigong practitioner Jeff Primick. Now, these are his words. So don't copyright me, Jeff Primick. These are your words, your book, page XI. I met Professor Tanya Storch for the first time at the University of Florida in 1998. She was teaching classes in Taoism and Buddhism, and I thought these courses would be a nice break from my traditional business administration classes, which were putting me to sleep. Oh, for real, they will put you to sleep. Roofy, this and that, more only needs 900 watch hours. Come on, Etiquette Media, help a sister out. Help her out. Run her playlist. Come on now. Come on, you knew. You know what? Anybody that gets her monetized, let's say, what's today? Monday? Let me see. What's today? Monday? Anybody that gets her monetized by Wednesday, she only need $900. So, where are my phones? I'm gonna be running her on my cell phones. I know she's on my phone in my bed. That's another cell phone. And I'll be running her on this cell phone. Hold Hold on. Anyone that pulls her up, please drop her playlist. Trending. Stop eating and get that out your mouth and drop her playlist. I know you over there eating. I know you ain't sleeping. Shit. I know she wide awake. Miss QT, what's up? Let me see. Let me get her playlist. Playlist. Ooh, look at the food she be cooking. Look at the food she be cooking. I think I watched that already. Let me see. Oh, this is another account. Okay. That's why it doesn't show, because this is another account. Alright, so little Buddha is gonna be watching you also. You got Buddha over there watching you, and you got little Buddha running you. So you got all the Buddhas running you. Alright. It said, now, everybody please put a heart if you gonna run. KBon, was you driving at karaoke at the same? Nah, he wasn't driving. He was at home. You should check out his video. He has a new super chat dance. La 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 la. You gotta see. I thought, okay. She was teaching classes in a nice break from my traditional business administration classes, which were putting me to sleep. In my first class, she seemed really smart, but I saw something was different about the 6 foot tall woman with huge blonde hair that seemed to shoot out of her head. During the very first Taoism class, she spoke about lucid dreaming. It's when you become aware you are dreaming while still in the dream. One can pick up objects and consciously investigate their nature, ask people questions, fly above the city at night, etc. For sure, I thought it strange that a university professor spoke about such matters. My knowledge was extremely limited at the time, as I had been practicing Qigong solely from books. For only 2 years, I was confused and felt lost at times. I was having intense dreams and flying in outer space, waking up vibrating head to toe, and waking up in my bedroom, seeing my body still sleeping, etc. I was experiencing a lot of the dream Pheronoma she spoke of and was determined that Tanya would become my teacher. My roommates didn't understand and I had nobody else to talk to about such bizarre matters. Tanya soon began appearing in my dreams. In one dream I was playing baseball when out of nowhere as I slid into second base, a door opened with Tanya walking through it. It immediately made me realize I was dreaming. I said, "Hey, what are you doing here? This is my dream." Needless to say, I aggressively wanted to question her about this in the real world, so I carefully thought out a strategy. After her class was over, I asked if we could talk privately for a few minutes. She gathered her things and we sat outside under a gigantic oak tree. I told her about my dreams and the energy I was experiencing, about all my personal problems, etc. This poor woman got struck into a 2 hour discussion with me. At the end of our conversation, she informed me that my tree energy had been injured and my liver needed healing. Her advice was to go hug some trees out in the forest, which I thought was really stupid. She gave very unclear, mysterious answers to all my questions. Yet I still wanted her to accept me as a personal student. I asked her, "Will you be my personal teacher?" with a roaring laughter. She said, "Absolutely not. You have not followed my advice, and I can tell you think it's silly." She ended our meeting rather abruptly to go have coffee and donuts with someone more important than me. My ego was hurt that she wouldn't take me as a personal student, but I also realized she had already helped me a lot with that one meeting. There was a forest behind my apartment, so I entered it finding a tree that called to me. The tree was large with parasitic vines sucking the life out of it. I ripped off the vines that were taking its chi and asked the tree if I would be my if it would be my friend. It didn't answer, so I hugged the tree for an hour and did my qigong breathing. Its cold bark against my belly felt healing, and after a while, I could feel I was exchanging energy with the tree. Each day for nearly 3 years, I visited the same tree. He became my friend that never said anything. Listening to forest leaves blow in the breeze was medicine. I never thought to take after my first time hugging the tree. I immediately reported back to Tanya with my progress. Can we speak for a few minutes? I asked when the class was over. She took me outside again underneath a large oak tree on campus. Did you follow my instructions? She asked. After I told her what happened, she supplied me with another exercise. She told me to let go of my problems and past injuries from people that have wronged me. Her instructions was to lie down in the river and forgive each person I held resentment against. Her thinking was that allowing water to cleanse my aura would help me forgive past transitions. Well, shit, I need the ocean. I need the ocean. I need the beach. I need to dive in the water. The following week, after practicing her exercise, I reported back to her and knowing I needed it, asked for more advice. My classes with Tanya and our private conversations under the oak tree were the only moments I looked forward to anymore. I completely lost interest in business. Finance was my major, and I was struggling to maintain focus with it. My Buddhism class with Tanya spoke of non attachment, especially to material items, as the central philosophy of all great masters. I so badly wanted to become a master myself, so I did what any man in my situation would do. Having found such an ionic powerful refuse Having found such an ionic, powerful teacher to train with, I begged her to be my teacher. She refused. I knew she had taken on a few students to even greater levels than me. I questioned what and why she has holding back from me. Next semester, I selected two courses. Professor Stokes was teaching Confucianism Confucianism, and Eastern religions. She always kept her students on the edge of their seat, listening with such enthusiasm. I imagine that she was everyone's favorite teacher. Amazingly, nobody else seemed to be as much of a pest as I was. After most classes, I would request a meeting under the oak tree. Usually she agreed and would give me great wisdom that applied to my personal situations. At the end of every meeting, I asked her to be my teacher every time she refused. One day I was walking on the busy campus when I saw Tanya in the distance. She was dressed in black leather pants and black boots. We were both walking towards each other, but she did not see me. I was standing across the other, but she did not see me. I was standing across the street waiting for her to see me when suddenly she stuck her foot down 6 inches into freshly wet cement. Ooh. In a newly constructed sidewalk. Her foot was absolutely covered in wet cement, standing directly in front of her. I tried not to laugh, but I couldn't hold back. I cracked a laugh, and when she looked up from her feet, I was the first person she saw. How could you not see the curb was wet cement? I blasted. Startled by my presence, she immediately roared with laughter, as if it was the funniest cosmetic joke she'd ever heard. Suddenly she said, "Do you know what this means? That you're going to go home and change shoes." I said, "No." She said, "This is true sign of great significance. Please come by my house for tea." I was shocked because I knew that she was accepting me as a student. Her big house was without a single piece of furniture. Her only possessions in the house were two chairs near the fireplace. We would sit and drink tea sometimes, wine discussing, "Hey, Jamia, we break chains. What's up? Let me see, y'all got wrenches. Ah, Jamia. Jamia, them got a wrenchy. Jamia, you got a managing wrenchy." Dun, dun, dun. Let me show everybody got wrenches. Everybody, please grab up Ruthie, this and that and more, and run her playlist. Shannon, drop her playlist. Or did you already drop it? Let me see. Let me look up. Uh, Sissy Ruthie. Okay, here we go. Ben, everybody, please help Ruthie. She only needs 900 hours. Little Buddha's running her. Buddha's running her. All the Buddhas are running her. Let's put it like that. Jamia, please help her. Jamia, please help her. Jamia, Jamia. Ooh, my pillow fell. Hold on, everybody. Oh, my mother's calling. Wait. Oh no, that's Wells Fargo. Hello? Yes, everybody, let's team up and help Ruthie. Jamie had got her. All right. I'm sorry about that rude interruption. That was the bank calling me. They never called me. So I was like, what? I was startled. Oh, what? Why y'all calling me? Unless y'all gonna give me money. Don't call me. All right. University of Florida and moved to the West Coast before our time was over. She initiated me deeply into five element theory. I saw everything in terms of the elements and was able to help a great deal of people with it. Over the years, I shared her unique variation of five elements with over 20,000 people in live seminars. Little did she know what kind of influence she had been training me. So, everybody, get to know y'all elements. Five elements. Right after she left Florida, oh, she left Florida? Damn. I dedicated my life to Qigong. Supreme Science Qigong Center was born in 1999, and I began flying in masters from China, Canada, Europe, and elsewhere. I was 15 in 1999. Tanya had set the bar so high for me, anyone was brought in for a seminar had to have been training for 50 years or more. Most of them could not speak English very well, but I learned what I needed from each master. Tanya's wisdom combined with my Qigong training have both shaped how I teach to this day. I long to give back the energy she gave me and to share even a fraction of what I learned from her. Tanya never wanted to learn my Qigong or food healing methods. I was forever her student, so it felt strange when she finally asked me to teach her food healing in 2005 because our student teacher dynamic was so fixed. Now, Tanya practices the nine breath method, teaches our Qigong to some of her college students, and drinks smoothies from our food healing program. She no longer has donuts, coffee, or wine. It's nice that I eventually got to give something back to her. Ever so often, Tanya comes to visit or I fly out to see her. We are still close friends after all these years. She says she is proud of me for what I have accomplished bringing the ancient healing arts to so many people, yet the truth is it took one person to introduce me to the path, one person to show me by example what it means to give your life to something greater. That person is Tanya Storch. Her students have been asking her to write this book for decades. After all these years of waiting, it is finally here. Thank you, Tanya, for asking me to help you with your book. It is my honor to know you and to serve in its creation. A final note is in order about my role in the writing of this profound book. Many people will assume I wrote it, so I want to accurately explain my role. In my opinion, this book is the single clearest transmission of the five elements ever written. Bold statement, I realize. I wish my talent were such that I could have written such a masterpiece, but only one person could possess a profound enough understanding of this subject to pull it off, and that is Professor Storch. She is humble and will say we wrote this book 50-50, but that is not true. I merely refined her writings to make them cleaner and more structured. After teaching this material for over 10 years, I thought I understood it. Through writing this book with Tanya, I realized I had not learned it any way near the level she actually understood it. We are truly blessed that such transmission has come into written form. No one needs private meetings with her under the campus oak tree anymore because it is all here in the far more detail than I ever imagined possible. Reading this book is like studying with a master for decades, and if you use even a fraction of this particular book knowledge, your way of looking at people, business, love relationships, and all of life will be enhanced. Part 1: Behavior and characteristics of the five elements. We begin by knowing what element we naturally are. In the past, this decision was made by a Chinese astrologer and the physicians based on the year, month, and day of the of a person's birth. This is how it is still done everywhere in Asia and Asian American communities. However, after many years of researching and practicing this method, I have found that for Westerners, five elements works much better if people come to their own conclusions about the primary and secondary natural elements. In chapter 6, I explain this is further detail for right now. It will serve you better to concentrate on finding your own elements based on self observation, self analysis, and basically looking at how you actually behave in real life. In the following five chapters of this book, you will find five psychological portraits corresponding to the natural behavior of fire, water, tree, metal, and earth people. Read the descriptions carefully, deciding for yourself which of the portraits describes you best. If you are a little bit confused, ask your friends and relatives whether certain characteristics apply to you or not. We are all need to do this because it is hard to recognize traits of our own character. Please do not look at what you are about to do as some form of personal. Well, I thought I heard something ringing. Sorry. I have five phones. Sorry. Alright, please do not look at what you are about to do as some form of personal labeling. It is not. It is simply a new and ultimately exciting way of looking at yourself and connecting to your own energy patterns. The goal is to understand and experience all the elements God has created for us in this lifetime and on this planet. But first, you must begin by understanding your own natural forces and internet strengths and weaknesses. Everyone's brain is different, and each finger leaves slightly different prints. If you were born as a water person, you really experience the world differently from your fire boss or your metal girlfriend. You must understand these differences between yourself and other people in order to be able to get along with all of them and not feel frustrated all the time. We are all equal, but we are not the same. This is just how we are created. Good luck with choosing your own elements. Chapter 1: Fire People. Although traditionally the five element cycle begins with water, I begin by painting a portrait of a fire person because they can be very impatient. If I don't give them immediately what they want, they might just quit reading our book altogether. Water has lots of patience, therefore, the water readers are going to be easygoing and are patient to wait. Our Western culture is absolutely in love with the element of fire. To us, it is the most romantic, enchanting, and fascinating energy. In our thoughts and actions, we glorify passion that burns forever, overcoming all obstacles. Almost all our great love and victory stories are built around the hero with an exhaustible supply of fire energy in her or his character, and virtually all our Hollywood celebrities are of fire. archetype, I invite you to look at the characteristics of fire and decide whether you two belong here. Thank you, Yunu. Fire people are often very impatient and hate waiting. Imagine you are in a doctor's office waiting in line and you see a person jumping in and out of his chair, asking lots of questions to the office personnel, talking on a cell phone in a voice so loud everyone can hear, and is trying to make contact with other patients who are quietly sitting or standing in line while you are observing a typical fire person's behavior. In general, fire people are very impatient and waiting kills them. Fire people must always be doing something, feeling busy all the time, sitting without action, and waiting for something no matter what is one of the worst punishments. Here is how a fire person named Mark puts it: I simply cannot wait. I hate waiting. I would rather have terrible things happen to me. Then I know how to act. Then I just sit and wait for something. Every time I go to the airport or take a bag full of stuff which keeps me entertained while I wait, and on the airplane, I try to talk to everyone who will talk to me. I know it's ridiculous, but otherwise I am so bored I literally feel like jumping out of the plane. Fire people love danger. Yes, they do. If you have a friend who always talks about doing crazy things and actually does lots of crazy things, that person's life is definitely ruled by fire element. Robert describes his desires for a dangerous life. Ever since I was little, I always did what other kids were afraid of doing. I would go to a cemetery and pretend I was going to spend the night there, then scare all the kids in the kindergarten with my stories about ghosts and vampires. When I grew a bit older, I skateboarded in the craziest places you could imagine, even on the roof of my house. I broke my left arm twice, but it didn't stop me from skating. Now I am in college, and when we get drunk, my friends lock me in my room because I once jumped off the roof into someone's pool. And they all got in trouble because of me. Another time I set off all the fire alarms in our dorms and they got in trouble again, but I ran away and no one could find me. Maybe you don't feel exactly like Robert, but if you normally enjoy doing things that border on risky behavior, such as driving too fast in rain on ice or on a narrow winding, if you like talking to strangers or heading out of town on a minute's note, if you like to shoot fire weapons or say things to people that you know will often burn them but feel like saying it anyway, you definitely have your own share of the fire in your blood. Fire people may quickly become passionate about someone or something, but the passion doesn't last long. Fire people are actually capable of falling in love with the person, language, profession, or perspective, place of residence in one day or less. They can feel longing and pain of separation from people and things which attract them immediately after they see them. When they like something or someone, they feel ready to engage in action 100% without really weighing all the pros and cons of the situation. All the fire people engage very quickly, preferring their life affairs to be conducted in quick, passionate, and unscheduled manner, with everything occurring at once, where no one knows what may happen next. They do not like to wait, so they will usually not wait for the right thing or person, but instead will try as many options as they can All the while, they discover that trying and changing people and emoting situations is what they enjoy the most. Elizabeth gives us a description of what it means to be a young fire person searching for her major in college. I declared acting as my major because I wanted to be a celebrity. Once I realized what acting really was about, lots of repeating of the same stuff over and over again, I got very bored. I switched to international studies because I thought I would get to travel a lot if I had this degree, and I actually liked it a lot in the beginning, but then I could not pass the math requirements and did not get to travel abroad. I got mad and dropped out of college. Then I enrolled again and got into photography. I am very excited about my professor and my new camera, and that I get to go everywhere and take pictures, looking like a professional. But something is telling me that I may get bored with this too. So I don't know what my real major should be. 4. Fire people are strong drawn to the outside world and find it hard to stay inside for long periods of time. Hey, Mountain of Inspiration! If you have an upcoming premiere, please feel free to drop it. Okay, you have a wrench. I was making sure you had a wrenchy. Okay. Fire people's dependence and sense of well being from time spent outdoors is roughly the same as your fireplace's dependency on the flow of oxygen to its flames. If you stick lots of bricks, concrete, and glass in between your firewood, leaving little or no room or fresh air, the fire will soon die, and so will a fire person. Metaphorically speaking, metaphorically speaking, of course, fire people must be out of buildings for several hours a day just to keep their energies high and stay healthy. And this alone, they are so unlike the other elements that these people often don't understand the fire's actions, especially water people, who can be genuinely happy staying inside for the entire day or even several days in a row. They may have a hard time relating to the fire person's urge to get out of the house a few minutes after they become awake. In fact, fires must get outside of the house to enjoy the mornings let me see, and be somewhere no matter where. To get coffee, to jog, to walk, or to meet someone. Just be outside. This they must do even if they live inside a house with a person they love dearly. This particular trait of the fires makes their permanent employment situation difficult in this society because they cannot stand being in the office from morning to evening and therefore cannot easily hold a steady job without a strong dose of mental discipline. Fire people need a strong challenge, lots of support and persuasion, or a nice dose of mental discipline in order to finish what they started. One of my fire students wrote, I need to hate something really hard or be constantly reminded of why I decided to do something in order for me to finish the project. One time I hated my chemistry professor so much that I got an A plus in his class only because I could not think about anything aside from him thinking that I was stupid and couldn't comprehend the subject he was teaching. But other times it was because of my sweet girlfriend that I got things done and accomplished. It was like she was a tree that gave me her wood to burn for inspiration. She would always tell me how smart I was and how she liked reading my papers when they were finished. She was a really great influence on me, and I got a lot of things accomplished because of her. But when we broke up, I did not feel terribly lonely because I immediately got in with someone else. But I noticed that the person I went to was kind of crazy, like me. So none of us did any classwork, and I liked that too. But then I failed most of my classes and was kicked out of college. Fires have traits of anarchism. Not only do they not mind other people's attention, they crave it, thrive in it. This is absolutely true. This is yet another reason why nearly all celebrities in our country are fires. People with other elements, especially trees and waters, are usually embarrassed by the public's attention and try to avoid it if they can. But fires are not so. Not only are they fine with the public watching them, they enjoy being the center of everyone's attention, whether it's a secret desire or reality for them. Fire people oftentimes dress to attract other people's attention. Fire people talk so that others can overhear them. Fire people do crazy things just to be noticed. And they feel fine walking into a room full of people and having everyone staring at them. They may say, "What are you staring at?" and laugh. Or they may just notice with satisfaction that that their new hairstyle and new pair of pants doing exactly what they wanted them to do. Buyers will dance in public even if they don't know how to dance. Dancing, and especially fast dancing, is one of the cardinal expressions of the fire element in human culture, wrote Cafty. A fire girl. This is why fires absolutely need to dance with as little clothes on as possible every morning and night, and fires love to sing loudly when they are in public areas as well. Those people who walk or bike by you in the street singing their hearts out are fires. What a break. Hey, Felicia, I'm free. What's up? Hey, you got an upcoming live video premiere short you want anybody to see? Get it out in the algorithm. Drop it down below. Let me make sure you have a wrenchy. You don't have a wrenchy. Okay, let me give you a wrenchy. Sorry, Felicia. I don't know what's going on. I can't even use YouTube Direct. It don't show my webcam. It says VR. I'm gonna drink some water, guys. Oi. What time is it? 2:39 a.m. Let me say this is Ruthie. Okay. We got Ruthie over here. Pecan pie. Pecan pie. I like pecan pie. Well, I like pecans. I don't know about no pie. Fire people break or destroy things far more often than other elements. Just like fire in the natural world can be destructive, people born with fire chi break and destroy things easily, and they do that often. Here is a testimony written by a mother of a 7-year-old fire boy named Josh, learning about 5 elements. Why do I hear somebody talking close to my window? Okay. Learning about 5 elements and understanding that my son has fire energy in him was most helpful. I was beginning to despair because Josh broke all the toys we gave him. He is 7 and knows how to close drawers and doors, but he never does after he uses the bathroom. You think it was hit by a hurricane, everything You think it was hit by a hurricane. Everything is pulled out of boxes and spread around. The mirror door is wide open, and all the rugs are twisted in such a strange way that one wonders how in the world he did it. Oh, that's Ruthie talking. I was like, what is that voice coming from? A word of warning. For those of you who must share a living space with strong fire types, unless fires study and master the 5 elements, they rarely grow out of their destructive streak. Just sit in any restaurant and watch. And that's true though. If they don't learn about their element, they won't grow out of it and they won't change. Yes, that is true. I will tell you why. Just sit in any restaurant and watch the fully grown adult fire person drop food on her elegant shirt, or the fire executive spill coffee on his new trousers. Even the highly trained fires still break their cars more often than people with other elements. They also wear out their clothes and shoes faster than people with other elements and need repairs in their houses more regularly. That ain't me. In other words, fire is burned and everything they touch, so you may as well get used to it. Fires must play more than others and love sports. Fires may appear to other elements as mischievous, unpredictable, and always looking for some divertisement kind of people. Because of this, we may think them to be less serious and less reliable, especially if we encounter them the way in the work environment. But in order to fight yawning, hold on, my mother, no, that's my okay, born to fight yawning. To fight yawning boredom, a constant threat to the fire personality, they must invent their own games, playing them by themselves or with other people. For example, they may give their coworkers funny nicknames or made up identities and joke about their people and often seen in the corridors fooling around. When others remain quietly in front of their computers, fires are the ones who are usually talking something really funny by a water fountain or in a copy room. At a meeting which was supposed to be very serious, they may do or say something really funny just to interrupt the routine, amusing themselves and others. They often make themselves into passionate players or some kind virtual or real life basketball cards, basketball cards, ping pong, or online dating. And then I'll show you the picture. That's a fire. Hey, Abdul. Alright. Play their game both at work and at home, so much that others around them may get frustrated. Most athletes are fiery people. They love competition against others and may become very serious about sports. Fire people are known for booing, and the referee who makes a bad call against their team. Our most famous athletes in sports are usually the ones who can run faster and shoot more accurately than others. This aspect of having speed, agility, and strength are all aspects of the fiery personality because the fire person places such a strong value on being physically powerful. They may get depressed and they get older, and the body's vitality is not what it once was. Qigong is an excellent way to increase fire chi for people of any age. Fires love to eat and get very hungry suddenly. If they don't eat right away, they can become moody or irritated. Here is a word from a fire student, Mike, summarizing this fire trait perfectly. I have this thing. I get hungry in the middle of a lecture or in a movie theater, and I really must eat soon. Because if I don't eat, I get so moody I can be mean to any person for no reason at all. My girlfriend Joanne knows about this, and she always asks if I have food available. If I say no, she says we must go somewhere and eat. I think my metabolism is so crazy fast that when I don't eat for a while, my stomach starts devouring itself. It growls so loudly people around me can hear it, and they look at me with a strange glance, as if I'm implying their stomachs never do that. Well, maybe they don't, and even after I've just eaten, I can eat again in half an hour or so. One day I ate dinner 3 times. My friends were astonished. I think I can do it because I digest food so fast. Just like natural fire devours wood and other fuel in a quick fashion, needing more. Let me make sure my mom didn't text. Hold on. Hey, what's up, Cali King? Any upcoming premieres, lives, videos, please drop them down below. Please drop them down below. Give me a minute, guys. Cali King, can you please run Ruthie's playlist? She needs 900 hours, 900 hours. We're gonna do a wheel. We're doing swoop. It's anybody gets swoop to 2K, 2K. About 420, we're gonna do a wheel and they'll win $20. We're gonna do a wheel for Ruthie. Alright, let's see. What the heck is this? Okay. Oh shit. Took off Ruthie. Hold on. I have to go back, put it back on. There she is. Okay. Play. Here watching. Okay. Fires love to travel. They do it more than others. Fires will travel and move it often regardless if they can afford it. Whether it's a bunch of short trips to a desert or a nearby beach or traveling regularly to far destinations, buyers are passionate about escaping the normal life. Fire people will go out of their way to get extra vacation days if they can use them for travel. They will travel cheaply, go without hotel accommodations, sleep in cars or in small tents. It does not matter, and they really need is to hit the road and drive away from the life they live every day. Well, shit, I feel like that, but I need a hotel. Mm-mm. Fires have hard time being alone. No, not me. In truth, although fires are aggressive or self-assured, people, they hate being alone. It's creepy, it's unpleasant, they don't like it because of this. They find ways to force others into keeping them company and doing something fires themselves want to do but don't want to do alone. In this sense, fires are almost exact opposites of water people who prefer being alone and feel happily entertained each time they lock the door to their room, diving into the ocean of the cyberspace. I think I'm a water person. Cyberspace is self-imagination. Although fires may enjoy reading or writing online as well, they prefer to do it in a cafe or some other public place where there is a crowd and they are not alone. No, I don't like crowds. Their Fires often speak in loud voices and have no problem interrupting other people when they speak. No. Fires express themselves powerfully no matter where they are or what they do, unless they are so deprived of their own type of chi they can no longer even be a speck of the person they normally are. Healthy fires are expected by the friends or enemies to barge into their conversations or anything else that draws their attention, which is everything, with no consideration whatsoever about what others think or do. Fires are people who talk very loudly at the people at the table next to you when you are trying to have a quite romantic dinner in a restaurant. Fires will scream across the entire hall of an airport's waiting area, asking their friends to get them a sandwich. Fire scream, cheer, and sing loud songs in the shower, making the whole house shake with the presence. Just get used to it. Fires love speed and do everything very quickly. They learn quickly and forget just as quickly. Fire persons' behavior is marked by high intensity and speed. Everything they do must be done fast. When they are at work, this must be a good thing. My fire friend Christy is finished with all her assignments at work, while her colleagues are still waiting for more directions to get started. But then the problem is what's next. She is either bored or she gets loads more work without being paid extra. Once fires realize the unfairness of this situation, they try to get out of it, but it does not always look pretty. In my classes, fire students are astounding. They learn things faster than I can say them. The problem is that they will remember nothing by the time we have our next class because tons of new things have happened to them during that time. The same principle of burning things fast applies to each and every aspect of the fire person's life. Food must be served fast, speed must be maximal when they drive, getting someone to have sex with them also must take as little time as possible. Oh my god. Fires get angry easily and are capable of rage. Fires are so aggressive and persistent that they usually get what they want when they want it. However, when things don't go their way, They may become outraged. Fire people's anger, especially rage, is dangerous thing. No one should stand in his or her way. When fires lose mental control entirely, they are capable of horrific things. They can do this even to those whom they love. After rage subsides, they try to apologize to the person they hurt, thinking that what they did is not such a big deal because fires are accustomed to their own state of anger and everything can return to normal. However, most people who have experienced a fire person's rage will never feel the same way about them. And then this is a picture. Page 17. Um, trending. Let's see who laughed. Hey, who's in here? Anybody in here? Is anybody going live? Please let me know if you're going live. Let's see. Cause Trini probably sailed off with her boyfriend. So let me see. Yes, Ruthie. The video's covering your TV. You want to blur it out and silent the woman talking on the videos on the video. Okay, let me see. And silent the TV from hearing it. Let me see who's live so we can go over and rate them. Uh, man, I just see Biden, bro, and all these news. No, I don't see nobody. Let me see. These people are probably all TV. Alright. Buyers hesitate yielding to authority no matter how far or powerful it is. Many try to beat the system. One can easily identify with this if one is a fire person or had a chance to observe a fire person's behavior. Buyers often do not respect rules and don't think that there should be any authority over them or other people. Deep in their hearts, buyers are naturally anarchists. 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 Because fire people have strong personalities and can win in most situations involving other people, they think the social system is set against them. They think it protects the weak and they may be right about this. If fires were to be allowed to do what they want, we would be back to medieval fights between knights, and the rest of society would be left in ruins. But fires do not see the situation this way. They simply want to be themselves, and they experience real psychological misery when they realize this culture leaves. little room for their physical prowess and mental bravery. For the reason fires sometimes join gangs and other clubs where antisocial behavior is glorified. Strong fire types often will not work for a system such as a big bank or corporation. They start their own companies, which may be successful or not, depending on whether fires are smart enough to bring metal, tree, earth, and water people into their team of executives and honestly share her or his power with them. All right, Miss QT, are you gonna go live later? Let us know. Set up a what do you call it? Set up a live, but set it up for a later time. And then when you get ready, if it's sooner, you just hit go live. Fires forget things easily and may need to be frequently reminded of their promises and obligations. They also have hard time remembering their past. Despite Fire's strong mental abilities, they have one peculiar weakness. They forget things easily, much faster and more easily than people with other elements do. This is explained by the expansive nature of the fire person's character. Fires are always on the go, always looking out for something new and exciting. Remembering the past excitement becomes difficult, especially when one reaches a certain age. For this reason, many smart fires keep journals for the duration of their lives or record audio and video. Fires feel happy around animals. They enjoy playing with children, but only if they do not have a permanent responsibility for their care. Fires, people adore animals. This is because with animals they can bring their own animalistic and even beast like nature to life. When fires are healthy and not opposed, they love to play wildly, to growl, kick, jump, and run fast. They will play with a dog or cat or other creature or nature like a person or another element. Never could this is because feels free to are like animals themselves due to the fact our society forces us to be increasingly civilized, meaning we have to suppress our natural urges more for the sake of collective harmony. We tend to lose furry aspects of our own nature. We become too domesticated, but a fire person can never be fully domesticated. There will always remain some aspect of wild elemental craziness in their character. Thank God for that. Otherwise, humans could become so boring. When with children, fires play in almost the same manner as they do with animals and other words. They relate to the non socialized, non domesticated aspect of a child's personality. Fires do not feel all ecstatic about babies. This is for tree people, but are crazy about toddlers. Fires can spend hours playing with 2 or 3-year-old little humans who are also happy to play with the fire people. They sense there is no adult inside of the adult looking human, and it is all fun with no rules or regulations. Yet fires may ultimately fail as guardians and parents because the moment they stop having fun with children and the time comes for their grown up function, boredom settles in and being with the child becomes uninteresting, unexciting. They may easily forget things they have promised the child because something else distracted their attention. Children may eventually recognize the ultimate selfishness and the first person's behavior and cool down toward them. Fires sometimes like to talk back and argue with people. They can easily hurt people's feelings as they do this. Although being blessed with also being blessed with stamina for prolonged debates and arguments is a characteristic of the metal person. Fires share with them the desire to have the last word in every conversation they have. Did you ever wonder why teenagers always must say something back at you? This is because biologically they are entering the fire chief phase, which happens to all of us when we are roughly between 12 and 24 years old. You read more about this life cycles in chapter 6. The difference between teenagers and people with other elements is the fires will act like this their entire life unless they consciously choose to change. Fire people simply cannot tolerate when another person tells them what to do, and because fires do not listen well to what others are trying to tell them, everything they hear they perceive to be a command of sorts. Therefore, they feel they must strike back. Smart parents, upon discovering this trait in their children, learn to use reverse psychology when they stop telling their teenagers what they want them to do. They have hopes it may help accomplish, and if they smartly tell their teens what they cannot do, it is almost guaranteed that they will try, believe it or not. This works on the fire adults as well. Fires absolutely love their hot and spicy foods. They can They can be easily hooked on drugs, alcohol, and coffee. Anyone who goes through 5 to 10 cups of coffee or hot tea or both every morning is a fire person. Everyone who can drink heavily and go crazy at a party, rising higher on the power of liquor, is a fire person. Most people who use drugs like speed or uppers to break away from the boredom of our metallic society are fire people. Fires will try just about anything in these areas. It is good if they choose to try many different types of coffee without getting into trying many different drugs. Buyers get hooked on new and exciting substances quickly, but unlike the water people, they can be unhooked relatively easy. Chapter 2. Rob, what's up, Rob? Is Tanya D going live? What they do, Rob? Very interesting reading. I'm reading this right here. I'm gonna open the camera. It's called, I don't know, let's see it, wait. There we go. It's called Mastering 5 Elements. Create better relationships in love, family, business, and discover why people act the way they do. It's by Professor Tanya Storch and my Qigong practitioner, Jeff Primick. You can find this on Amazon. I got it from my light activation class. This is my teacher. Let me write it for you. You should Google it because I think it's real cheap, yo. It's cheaper than Amazon. It's like $4 or something. There's like people that have them, don't want them. I shop at Thrift Books online. Thrift Books. It's an app for Androids. It's mastering. The information's in the description, but I'll write it. 5 elements And the app is Fifth Books on Android though. I don't know what it is on Apple. All right, chapter 2 is Water People. But let's see, is Rob? Rob, are you live? Cause I just looked on YouTube. I ain't see nobody live, man. I'm about to go back and watch my Oh, there we go. They were in here earlier. Let's go show them some love. They were in here earlier. Okay, so the next chapter I will read is chapter 2, Water People. In this chapter, we are going to look at the characteristics of people whose lives are governed by the water element. In general, our society is not very kind to these people. Most of us perceive them as too passive and weak, and we often accuse them of lacking necessary abilities to fight for what they need, as well as the ability to defend themselves against others' aggression. Yet, in many other societies, including the native cultures of Americans, of the Americas, and most Asian societies, the water archetype of human behavior is considered to be the most refined and valuable. These quite seemingly withdrawn and philosophical inclined individuals, and whom they select as their leaders and cultural heroes. Hey, what's up, Miss Key? You ain't going live? Are you going live today? Water people, Miss Key, if you have an upcoming live premiere, please drop it. Water people wear almost exclusively blue, navy, gray, and black color clothes. When I began teaching a new class at my university, I quickly glance over my students' clothes. This allows me to identify the water individuals who I know to be very shy and do not appreciate when I put them on the spot with my productive questions. No wonder why people always call me a water person, but I'm not. I have characteristics of basically all the elements. For the fire, I have the fighting, but I learned to control that through meditation. I put them on the spot with my productive questions. These water students, most of the time, wear blue jeans and blue hoodies with some kind of grayish, bluish, or blackish t shirt underneath. We may consider this the water uniform which they wear throughout the entire semester, never switching to orange, yellow, red, gold, or bright green clothes. Water people are mysteriously drawn to color of their own element, blue. Well, my favorite color is blue. I do like the ocean. I do like the emptiness. I do like being free on the water. No one talking, no noise. Yeah, exactly, Rob. If I could smoke a blunt underwater, I would. They think it is simply the best, and while they can tolerate red and orange colors in their environment, because waters can tolerate just about anything, one cannot pay them enough money to make them wear red, orange, or bright yellow colors on their bodies. Hey, little boss, how you doing? Water people can go to the same restaurant and order the same food for many, many years. Yeah, that's true. Yes, they can, and this is one of their many amazing qualities which most of us like to poke fun at. When you go to a restaurant with your water friend or water relative, you don't have to guess what they're going to order. It is going to be the same order and over again. I laugh because that is true. Wants are stable and predictable people who do not like their boats to be rocks. So they figure they need to twist their brains every time they go to a restaurant. This is why they order the same stuff and always eat what they are used to. When they eat at home, it's generally the same meal for breakfast and our dinner for many, many years. They never seem to grow tired of this monetary until one day, without any comprehensible reason, they switch to another staple they continue to eat for yet another 10 years or so. Alright, let me pin that. Hold on. Oh, I closed the YouTube bad. Hold on. I'm gonna fix the thumbnail. I'm sorry guys, I'll fix the thumbnail. Okay, Miss QT, I'm putting you now. Alright everybody, yeah, now it's time to grab Ruthie's playlist to help her run her playlist. Rob, help her run her playlist. She needs 900 hours. You help her, she'll help you. That's how it works here at Buddha. We all help each other grow to the highest, and we all help each other become monetized no matter what. Money doesn't define us. Money doesn't make nothing. Money come and go. Money is the root of all evil. So, no, I don't like to keep money on me. Alright. Let's see. Where was I? They think it is simply the best, and while they can tolerate bright red and orange colors in the environment because water can tolerate about anything. Alright, waters do not often say no, but this does not mean they are going to do what people tell them to do. An amazing water behavior that is incomprehensible to other elements is they rarely give a straightforward no. This does not mean they are agreeing to something. Water will often withhold their opinions on a situation. If they do give their opinions or answers under pressure, it may be done in such an evasive manner that one is left in doubt as to what they actually meant. If you ask a water to do something for you or another person, they may or may not do what you requested, but there will be no arguments about it. Fighting them verbally or putting pressure on them in order to accomplish something is useless. They either do what you have asked them to do or not. While avoiding what you have asked of them, they are polite, pleasant, non confrontational. It's not as though they rub their disobedience into your face. They just avoid the whole issue altogether. Just how the natural element of water is extremely difficult to compress. Using social pressure on water, people practically never works. They find a way to avoid unpleasantness without fighting back or explaining why they don't care to. As a result, one of my water students said, we are preserved by other existed. We are preserved by other elements as the greatest procrastinators who have existed. When in fact all we do is avoid the bullies who always try to take advantage of us because we never impose our agendas on them. Waters are incapable of throwing things away, even if these things old, broken, and useless. Here is a word from another of my water students. I never throw things away. I always think they might still be useful for something and I can use them one day or someone else will. My mother is fire and she hates it. When I stack things around the house and in my room, she has secretly thrown things away, thinking I would not notice the disappearance, but I always know when she does. I just don't argue with her because I know it is useless. As fire, she is going to do what she wants to do. This leaves coming off. What she wants to do, and no amount of explaining why it is important for me to keep all my things and collect even more is going to change her behavior. I learned to keep possessions that are particularly important to me in secret places so she won't notice them. Hey, Filipino GE. Hello. Thank you for coming. I learned to keep the where she won't notice them. Strong water types dislike and even fear moving to new places, even changing furniture around the room or house may be psychologically difficult for them. In nature, water for the most part sits in the same place for a long time, creating ponds, lakes, and seas. Water people are most comfortable when they are surrounded by the familiar things and stay in the same residence for a long time. Here is a water person's testimony to this. When I was little, my parents moved all the time because of my father's job. I hated it so much every time I would get used to something and begin feeling comfortable in our neighborhood, we had to move. I did not do well at school. I did not have any friends. What made it worse was my little sister loved it when we moved. She actually looked forward to moving out of our old town as soon as we arrived in a new place. She would go around announcing that we were moving out in a week or a month and the kids must start playing with her right away because soon we would be gone, I guess. This is 'cause she's fire and I'm water. Waters usually remain friends with the same people for a long time. It is hard for them to make new friends. This trait is easier to observe in water people who are in their 30s and 40s and still friends with people they had known since college or high school. Fires usually go through their relationships very quickly and do not particularly worry about a relationship for ending for one reason or another. Waters are very shy and passive in their behavior, and it may be extremely difficult for them to initiate a new relationship for that reason, and also because uh, Malcolm, where I left off, because they can survive through many unpleasant twists and turns of human characters. They usually keep friends for life. This is one of special and most beautiful gifts of water people can give us to continue being our friend when all other people and even our family have left us. Well, I could say that does not relate to me. People say I'm a water person, but no, I'm not. I'm not friends with none of my friends from back in the days. I cut my friend off of 8.5 years, so no, I'm good. I ain't afraid to cut you off. Say bye bye. Sometimes I won't even say bye. I'll just walk away. You'll find out when I don't talk to you. All right, so I'm reading the Mastering Five Elements. Mastering Five Elements. Huh? I'm reading the Mastering Five Elements that was on the thumbnail. I just read them. I finished that Water People. I'll finish reading the rest another day. Please raid Kitchen Adventures. Is anyone going live? Is anyone going live? Let me know. Is anyone going live? Let me know if you have a premiere, upcoming live. Drop it and I will pin it. These bows. You have a wonderful, beautiful day. Stay blessed. And let's go raid Kitchen Adventures. I have a very bad headache. I will read the Akashic Records. I think I scheduled it. I don't know. You have to look on. I have to look on YouTube. I think I scheduled it 2 days from now. I may have to reschedule it because I'm gonna be going to go look at cars. Everyone have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you very much, Six Bows. Six Bows, if you want to come up here, because I know you said that you have read about the Akashic Records. If you want to come up here and tell us your insights. What Akashic Records did you read and by who? I read on Linda Howe. That's what I read. Linda Howe. Linda Howe, learning how to read the Akashic Records. And then I read, well, I am reading now, the Healing Through the Akashic Records. And on this stream, I am reading Mastering 5 Elements. Oh, you're watching videos. Okay, okay, okay. Got you. I thought you meant you were like reading, researching. Alright, cool. Alright, everybody, go raid Key Kitchen Adventures. Key Kitchen Adventures. Everyone have a beautiful, wonderful day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Namaste to you and your family. Namaste. What's meant to be will be. It is what it is. Exactly, Rob. It is what it is. Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Rob, are you going live? Is Tanya D going live later? I want to see some dash tours, man. What's wrong with you? Come on. I want my tours, yo. I want my tours. Are you going? You gonna do some tours? Well, I hope you do tours, Rob. Everybody, please connect with one another. Miss QT, Six Bows, Rob Albanks, Trendy Live TV, Love and Live Show, Filipino GE in Italy, Rob Albanks, Little Boss 31, KB on Trucker, Miss Key Kitchen and more. And then we got Ruthie's, This, That and Family, Cali King, FR Humphrey Abdul, Mountain of Inspiration, You New Official Jamie Yup. Together we break chains. Everybody please connect with one another at the Media Patty's Kitchen Southern and Mo. Please, please, please connect with everybody, the wonderful people. Oh, somebody popped up here. Woo! Rob, what's up?
What's up, Buddha?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? I got Tanya D right here. Me and Tanya D right here.
What's
Hey, Tanya.
food up?
How you doing, Tanya?
I'm good. I'm good. We ain't doing Dasher Tours on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because I got another gig. So I'll be doing something else
Okay.
Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
Alright, that's cool, that's cool. I
Yeah.
gotta go look at a new car this
Okay.
week,
What kind
so
you looking at this time?
I'm looking at it's a Honda. Yeah, it's a Honda Pilot VP.
Or that VP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Honda Pilot VP. So I'm gonna look at because he has written down on the ad Honda Element.
Oh, but it's not a,
It's a
okay.
pilot.
Okay.
Right, but when he gave me the VIN number, it came back as a Honda Pilot
Pilot.
VP Sport.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's not bad, and it's his father's.
Oh, okay.
So I said, oh, so that sounds better. And then the other one was the Toyota Highlander, but my mom goes, you wouldn't want that because that looks like a, what did she say? Looks like a mommy donk, they call it. I'm like, what?
Highland
And
is pretty. It's pretty big. It's
yeah,
pretty big.
oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
I used to have Yukon XL, Yukon Suburbans, Tahoes.
Ah, so you used to them big.
Yeah, so I was like, what do you mean it's a donk? I was like, I was like, you mean like a SUV, right? She's like, no. I said, oh no, I don't want that. And then she talking about she's looking for a Honda CRV. I told her make sure you get a Honda CRV XL, or else it's gonna be your car, and you're still gonna have to buy me a car when you sell this house.
Yeah.
Cause she blew my engine. So I found a car yesterday. Let me show you guys. Oh my god, I found the car. And I text her the car and I was like, oh my god, look at this, and it's my color.
What happened to the Forerunner?
Look at this. Tell me.
What's that?
Look at the car.
It's North Carolina
Oh,
Blue,
that
a
truck.
1955 Chevy.
Ah,
Oh yeah, that's dope.
that's nice.
Oh my god, I was like, it's a 1955 Chevy. It's my color. Oh my god, this is a sign from God. You have to buy my car now. That's the car.
Ah,
And she's like, no, you'll see many. You'll see many of them in North Carolina. You'll see many of them. I was like, no, 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 no. I found it now, here.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, no, in North Carolina. So I was just laughing with her.
yeah. So you got
Hey,
to get your car.
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's gonna be she's gonna be driving it. So I was like, if what happens if you blow up this car?
She
I
gonna blow.
was like,
Go that.
you might as well just buy the car you want.
Yeah, that's true. And just let you get the one you want.
Yeah. Hey Leo. See, but the car I want is what he want 59,500. And I
Ooh.
told her, well, you could buy the Chevy Silverado, the new one. It's like same price,
Yeah.
but they're easier to work on. So, but I just joke with her because
Well,
like it's like I don't really like driving anymore.
you don't.
Cause no, not really. Cause I get kind of like road rage.
So you some kid to Rob D.
Yeah, that road rage. Yes.
I have to
Somebody
be in the passenger.
Hey, Buddha.
Huh?
I got off yesterday because some
Oh.
apparently I was blocking somebody from getting over in front of me, but I was
Mhm.
in the slow lane, and whoever was in the fast lane, I guess they wouldn't let them get, they wouldn't let them by.
Right.
So he came by and he started talking shit like, you gonna let me get over? So I just happened to look because I'm like, damn, who the fuck is this pulling up like this? And I happened to look over, he talking shit, right? So I'm like, what you mean? What you say? When you gonna let me over? I'm
Mm-mm.
like, man, I'm in the slow lane, bro. The passing lane where you in. So, all that rah, 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 you keep all that. But I was already feeling good on that kush, so I was like, man, going on business. Because I was just going to get some gas anyway. But, you know, if he
Yeah,
wanted to meet me at the gas station, I would have obliged him. Because I
yeah,
was in
that's
the
right.
right lane.
You ain't obliging.
But, you know, hey, I'm too old to be trying to fight somebody. But, you know,
Mhm.
they want to take it there.
They don't fight though.
I still bring out the hands, but, you know, nowadays, these kids, they don't want to fight no more. They bring out them toolies.
Yeah,
So,
so you gotta be careful. Let me
pretty
see.
good.
Rob, how is Miss Tanya? Did she get her hours by Ruthie? She's right here. She's right there.
Yeah, she right here.
Hi, Miss Ruthie. No, I haven't
Oh,
got my hours yet. I'm getting
no.
close though.
I watch hours. I think she still got like maybe 18, 17 more hundred to go.
Ooh, that many?
Yeah.
Wow.
She got 900 to go. So we're all trying to do like playlist here, and we're all trying to run each other.
Yeah.
Like the ones who need it.
Got
We're
900
gonna
to go.
we're gonna run them. Like I got her on one of my cell phones. I'll run Tanya. That's fine. I'll
Thank
run her on my other tab. Hey Leo, I'll run her on my other tab. Rob, you're all set, right? Yeah, you all set.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm Gucci. So I can do Miss Ruthie on my other device.
Okay, thank you.
With that, Miss
you. Hold on,
Ruthie.
Miss Ruthie.
So I say,
Okay, and then Ruthie will probably run you back.
oh, she will.
Yeah, see?
Well, I've been connected to Miss Ruthie for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just take this
I
off.
mean, not a
Thank
long
you,
time,
little boss.
but I've been connected to you, Buddha, for damn near what, a year, 2 years? Shit.
What is this?
Yeah.
Commercial. That's Fam Pro. Fam Pro Love. That's somebody else you connected to.
Yep.
No, you can just let it run because you in her live. I mean, you can. Yeah, that's too long. Skip that shit. Sit here and watch no whole
30 minutes.
35-minute commercial. Some of these commercials be ridiculous. Look, if anybody, if you running the playlist, then it's cool. But if you actually just in the live,
Yeah.
if you in the live and you got a 35-minute commercial before you get to the live, skip that shit.
I just let it run.
Dad got some lemonade in there.
Hold on, boo. Let me get you on the big computer too.
Wait, let me open my small.
Oh, because I took.
Give me a couple of lemonade.
Did it ever? It never came up.
I said I was going to do it later.
Okay.
It's probably VA.
Yeah, it's got to be because they be tripping sometimes. Computer be everybody working from home. The internet slow.
That's enough.
Well, everybody really ain't really working from home. I thought I saw Key Kitchen.
Yeah, she right there.
Oh, what's up, Key Kitchen? I see you live. What was I looking for, Boodle?
Miss
Boodle, I be getting
Key.
some sidetracked on this shit sometimes. For real, man. I be like,
It's cold too.
okay, there you go. So now,
It's cold in Alabama.
hey, no, she talked. What you? That lemonade. apparently, they be killing my country time pink lemonade, Buddha. It's so delicious,
Oh,
but they act like they can't make it.
it has so much sugar in it.
Yes, a lot. But I
Yeah.
don't put that much in there. I just put 3 spoonfuls and let it ride.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's the technique. You gotta stir it up until you feel that pain in your wrist, like you're whipping it up.
Oh my. 3 spoons of sugar. Whew.
That's a lot of sugar.
Yeah, that's a lot of sugar.
That's probably
Hey, Tundra. Hey, Walnuts Fukumoto. What's your name? Deacon. You.
Hold I told you.
Oh, that's the
I can't
deacon.
ride nobody in that thing.
Deacon
Why
your
you
mouth.
sit there looking
Mm-hmm.
like a damn idiot?
You have to get it to get it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can't ride
them
nobody
just
down.
them just what you call them monikers.
What part of that you didn't understand?
Those are just monikers. You know,
Brush your
Mm.
teeth.
that is not my government name. Okay, for the masses who are inquiring and want to know. I mean, you know, they say you can be whatever you want to be on the internet, though.
I guess they say that. I don't know.
Yeah,
You and your dad
it's
go
all
through
good.
it.
So how that car search going?
Uh,
You found one? Definitely.
I mean, my mom said she found one, but the guy sold it.
He sold it.
Hmm. She
Well, damn.
said she had the money, everything was ready. She was supposed to go to the dealership, but it was in West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to go with the ride that was gonna take her, and they're gonna check it out for her. But when she called the
Or
dealer and everything, it was sold.
they sold it already. My goodness.
We gotta go do that.
Somebody must have just came at him with some money.
Yep.
That's all that was. It was a good price though, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I told her if it was sold, it's obviously not meant to be. I said the right car will come along. Don't
No doubt.
worry.
No doubt. Cause the ones that you gave me I saw the prices I think that was yesterday. There was some good prices too.
Yeah,
What's that 68, 6,900?
6,800. He wants 6,800 for the pilot,
Yeah,
and she wants 7,800 for the Highlander.
yeah, you say you weren't feeling old girl.
She's like her value is 6,800. The Kelly Blue Book value.
Right.
So where the heck is she getting 7,800 from?
Yeah, she trying to make
And
an
she got
extra.
all Toyota basic stuff in there.
We should do this.
Right. And then it's the '08.
Yeah.
That's 15 years old, baby girl. You shit. What you need to be deducting instead of adding.
Mm. My mom was like, "Oh, I found the 2015." So I called this guy who has a warehouse, right, with cars. He had my car that I like, the Jeep Compass, but someone said that Jeeps are not very good cars. Don't get that. So I said, "Okay, fine, whatever." So I told him, "I see a Suburban in the background, and you have other SUVs. Do you have any CRVs?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "No, but I get them in." I go, "Oh, okay, because my mother's looking for a CRV and she found one, but they had sold it." And he goes, what year and how much? So I told him. He was like, "No, no, 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 that's impossible." I said, "Listen, it's a fucking dealership, and no, it's not impossible."
Right. He already sound ludicrous.
Yeah, so I hung up on him. I was like, "Man, forget this. I don't got time for this."
Okay, it's 245. They said he do it 340. So should I
Okay.
go on?
It's 245. That's a whole.
Anybody going live, please feel free to drop the link. I will pin it above. I'm in a restaurant, so I got you. Okay.
Time.
Oh, you in the restaurant? I don't know who. I don't think I'm gonna go live today. It's already
No.
afternoon.
Yeah, I'm about to end and go to bed.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm gonna go and drop down. I appreciate you for having me up here. Appreciate you for letting us speak.
Yeah.
Tanya
No,
D.
if you want to go ahead and promote your channel, promote anything, feel free.
Okay, well, look, Rob Allbanks promoting Rob Allbanks music pretty much. Like I say, I am on all of your music platforms, so go check it out. Show your boy some love, and instead of super chatting me, buy a song. And check out the lovely Miss Tanya D when she's doing Dasher tours on what days are those, Tanya D?
Probably Thursday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you're not connected to Tanya D's channel, let me see if I can get her to drop her house. So if you guys aren't connected to her, go over there, show her some love, watch her some videos because she almost on her WH. You know, we still working on getting the people, but one thing at a time. We gonna get these WHs. Thanks to you guys. You feel me? Appreciate y'all. And once again, thank you so much, Buddha of Destiny. Namaste. Peace, love, and reparations.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you later.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a couple minutes so everybody can grab Tanya D to help her with her playlist. Tanya D, I'm gonna grab her so y'all can help her with a playlist. Meanwhile, we're gonna go over and rate Kitchen Adventure. Let me see if she's still alive. Yeah, she's still alive. We can go over and raid Kitchen Adventure. Y'all can grow. Oh wait, hold on. This is right here, right here. I got this one. It's not a silent. Uh, they were here earlier. So please raid them. They were here earlier. Please raid them. And you will grow to your highest, Tanya. Go there. You will grow. They're all organically supportive people. Some of them are from the Hypathon, and you will grow. So please rate. Namaste. Much love to all of you. Thank you for your time. For your time during today. Thank you very much. Six Bowls, have a wonderful day. Tiny D, have a wonderful day. Rob Banks, Wellness for Frugal Mama, Trending, Loving This Show, Miss Patty, we got you new, Namaste, Wellness Frugal Mama, and then we got Miss QT, Key Kitchen and More, Lil Boss, Leo, Ruthie. I don't want to miss nobody. And everybody that came through, thank you very much. Kelly Key, Mountain of Inspiration, Abdul, F. Humphrey, official Jamia. Thank you for coming through. Namaste to each and every one of your families. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.